नित्यलीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतनाम स्वामी महाराज के अभय चरण कमलों में अनंत कोटि साष्टांग दंडवत प्रणाम एवं उपस्थित समस्त वैष्णव प्रणाम सुखा हम लोग कार्तिक पूर्णिमा के समाप्ति के पश्चात
after the Kartik Purnima,
रास की कथा हम श्रवण
we heard about
कर रहे थे।
the Haimantik Ras Lila Katha.
सुखदेव गोस्वामी पाद परीक्षित महाराज के
And Shukadeva Goswami, he
निकट
told to Parikshit Maharaj
हेमंत ऋतु की
about the Hemanta Ritu. It's like dewing season. It's like pre-winter season. So after the fall comes the Hemanta Ritu.
हेमंते प्रथम मासी
It's one season.
कुमारी का जरूर भविष्य गुंजानम कात्यायन अर्चन कृत। श्री सुखदेव गोस्वामी पाद कहते हैं राजा
Shukadeva Goswami Pada says,
काल में प्रथम
Hey
मास
king,
में अर्थात अग्रहण
in the first month of this
मार्गशीर्ष कहा जाता है। अग्रहण मास के क्या कहा जाता है?
Agran month is also called Margasirsa.
उस समय कुछ गोपियां जो कत्तानी पूजा
So at that time,
उसके बारे में वर्णन होते जा रहे हैं।
so explaining about some gopis doing this Katayan vow. So Agarayan Mas is called Margasirsa, the name of the month.
कत्तानं वेदद्यम इदम हरिवम शरीवम स विष्णु पुराण ब्रह्म पुराण आदि दृष्टम। नहीं उस समस्त गोपियां कात्तानी देवी के अर्चन बाबर।
So these gopis, they started doing the vow for Katyayani Devi.
जिस कथा प्रसंग हम लोग भी काल श्रवण कर रहे
So yesterday also we were listening
ये वो समस्त छोटी-छोटी
that
गोपियां
all these young gopis,
प्रातः काल में उठ करके
early in the morning, they woke up, they used to wake up,
अपने सखियों के नाम लेकर के बुलाया और
and they were calling,
बालुका के द्वारा यानी रेतकना के द्वारा
like they were making some statue of the
कत्तानी
sand
की मूर्ति
of the Jamuna, making some statue of Katyayani,
उससे सुगंधि गंध माला धूप दीप
and offering so many incense, fragrance, flowers, rice also to the deity.
देवी उपासना करनी।
Like this, they were worshipping the deity.
और अंत में इस मंत्र के द्वारा ही पूजा आदि करने।
And in the end, they were speaking one mantra.
जी कत्तानी महामय महाजगन्नाथेश्वरी नंद गोप सुतम देवी पतिं में पुरितोय नमः ईतिं मंत्र जपन तस्ता पूजा चक्रु कुमारिका। इस मंत्र के द्वारा वो समस्त
So through this mantra,
कात्यायनी देवी के संबोधन पूर्वक कहने लगी हे महामय
these gopis, they were saying, each of the young unmarried gopis performed her worship while chanting the following mantra: O goddess Katyayani, O great potency of the Lord,
कृष्ण के साथ
O possessor of the great mystic power and mighty controller of all, please make the son of Nanda Maharaj my husband. I offer my obeisances unto you. So saying this, they were doing pranam.
नमः। काल भी हम लोग ये श्रवण किया क्यों
So yesterday we heard
यहाँ पर
that
कतानी महामय महाजगनी ये सब तो जोग माया के द्वारा ही संबोधन
actually when they are saying Katyayani, Mahamaya, we should understand they are speaking about to Jogamaya. So one thing is Mahamaya, another thing is
महामाया
Mahamaya.
इस संसार में जीवों की जो है
So Mahamaya is this potency
कारागार में जो है
which eludes the jivas in this world and keeps them in the jail of this material world. This world is like a jail.
सभी हम लोग एक जेल में ही पड़े हुए हैं
Everybody actually is in a jail.
और देहात्म विमान हम लोग का है। क्योंकि जब जीव
And we have the bodily conception.
तपसा शक्ति से प्रकटित हुए मार्जन शक्ति
So the jiva is manifested from the Tatastha Shakti of Lord.
तब उस समय एक तरफ वो चित जगत देखते हैं और दूसरी तरफ
So
जगत देखते हैं।
so we can look to the material world and to the spiritual world. So seeing the glittering of the material world, the glittering of the material world, then the jiva becomes
अजीब मोहित होकर के
under the illusion, like or captivated by some illusion, then the jiva comes to this material world.
आकर के संसार में दुख आदि भोगते हैं। बोले कैसे
And then he's suffering so much in this material world. How?
मैं संसार को देख करके भोग की वासना इच्छा करते
When the jiva looks at the material world and wants to enjoy the material world. So Maya puts some covering in the jiva, covers the jiva,
और साथ ही साथ के भुला देते
and makes the jiva forget also.
हैं। मोहित करके
So being under the illusion,
स्वरूप के जो है भुला देते
the jiva forgets its own form as the servant of Krishna.
हैं। आत्मिका वृत्ति
So this is called avarananimika.
का आत्मिका
Avaran Atmika Briti is one tendency of Maya to cover the souls. Maya covers up the jivas, covers completely. Just like, for example, imagine if you cover a cat with a basket. Like you put a basket. So the basket,
अंदर में
so you put a cat inside the basket.
बिल्ली रहता है। उसी प्रकार
So in the same way,
जीव के ऐसे मोहित कर देते हैं
Mayadeva is illusioning, like eluding
जिसके कहा जाता है
the jivas and covering them. So the tendency of Maya is avarana atmika briti, tendency to cover the living entities.
फिर उसके अच्छी तरफ से बांध देते हैं
Then Maya also binds us very nicely with the three ropes of Sataraja. So another tendency of Maya is called Dvikshep Atmika, means to throw the living entities.
क्षेप आत्मिका उसी प्रकार इस संसार में जीव माया के द्वारा मोहित होकर के
It's like these, the jivas are so under the illusion and
कृष्णहुली से ही अनादि वही हो होते माया तले गए संसार आदि और माया देवी उनके भी अनेक प्रकार जो है अहंकार आदि दे देती है।
And Maya Devi also gives so many kinds of ahankaras.
मैं करता हूँ
Means the ego of like I am the doer.
अनेक प्रकार फिर जीवन के कर्म के अनुसार अनेक प्रकार लाभ पूजा प्रतिष्ठा धन संपत्ति अनेक प्रकार दे देते हैं जिससे कभी सुखी होते हैं कभी दुखी मानते हैं।
So Maya also gives many kinds of wealth and other things to the jivas. And then sometimes we're happy, sometimes upset. When you get money, when you get a name, fame, reputation, you'll feel so proud and so happy.
और जो धन संपत्ति जब खो जाते हैं
But when you lose your money,
तो वो दुखी
your wealth,
होके रोते हैं। इस संसार
you become so upset and you cry so much.
माया भी एक विचित्र
So this world is so diversified, like diverse, so many things, different situations. And Maya makes this, and we are like
जिस प्रकार
going to different situations all the time.
तेल के पीसने के लिए जो कोलू जो होता है कोलू समझ
So just like when you have to, koluja means something to
मिला ऑयल मिला
oil miller. Oil miller calls kolu. It's called kolu. So oil miller. Like you know how to you make the oils, extract oils of the grains and the seeds, for example. How they make the mustard oil, for example. They take the mustard seed and they have to, like to kind of grind the seeds, but they put the one oil miller, it's one kind of a miller, and then they put one ox to like walk in circles so that he can move this miller. Okay, but this ox, he must have his eyes like blindfolded, otherwise the ox will not walk in circles again and again just to move the miller.
घुमाते रहते और वो सरसों जब पीस जाता था उसे तेल नीचे से टपक टपक कर निकालते
So like this, the mustard seeds are grinded and the oil is
क्या कर दिया जाता है
flowing from underneath.
काले
Over his eyes so that he can walk in circles. In the same way, we're in this material world.
अनेक प्रकार ये काले पट्टी दे दिया क्या है लाभ पूजा प्रतिष्ठा
So
देहात विमान
all this, the Hatma Bhiman, this bodily conception and name, fame, reputation, so many things,
भोग आदि करते रहते
then we are just, enjoying in this world.
किंतु आत्मा तो सुख चित्त है
But the soul is spiritual
और ये जड़ शरीर है
and is the material body.
इसलिए आत्मा के ऊपर अभिमान पैदा कर देती है समझे? इसको समझना बहुत कठिन है
So to understand that is very difficult.
हम जो खाते हैं आत्मा खाती है क्या
So we eat. Does our soul eat?
जो कुछ भी हम खाते
So whatever we eat, like dal, rice, sabji,
हैं
is our soul also eating? No.
पुष्टि के लिए हम खाते हैं पुष्ट होता है
It's
और यही नहीं
to make our body healthy, like nurtured, but sometimes it's freezing up.
तो शरीर अपने दुर्बल हो जाएगा नहीं खाओ तो शरीर अपने दुर्बल
And if you don't eat, you'll become weak, for example.
क्षीण हो जाएगा
You become very weak. So what is the soul of foods? What is the soul's food? You can say.
वो क्या खाती है
What does the soul eat?
आत्मा जो है
So the soul in your body, what does the soul eat? Harinam. This is the food of the soul.
हम शरीर के लिए भोजन दे रहे हैं किंतु आत्मा के लिए हम भोजन
So we're giving food to our body, not to our soul.
इसके स्वरूप में सजाते जा रहे हैं उसके कलरिंग करते जा रहे हैं पिंजरे के सुंदर रूप में सजाते
Just like, for example, you just
कलरिंग करते जा रहे हैं
coloring
पक्षी को हम
making so nice the cage of the bird. But the bird, we're not feeding the bird. So slowly, slowly, the bird becoming so weak, and the bird inside the cage is fainted there, because the soul food of the soul is Harikata Harinam. But we don't understand that.
उपनिषद में यही कथा बता रहे
The Upanishads describe this.
हैं आत्मा के भोजन ये चार
The food of the soul is not rice and etc. It's Bhagavat Nam and Bhagavat Katha.
आत्मा की खुराक क्या है भगवत कथा श्रवण सुनना
So to listen Bhagavad Katha and to chant holy names, this is really the food of the soul.
आत्मा की भोजन क्योंकि जीव संसार में वही तो
But the jivas in this world, they are in the illusion and they are not feeding the soul, they are only feeding the body. Like we also dress up so much, like we ornament our body, we do our hair,
वस्त्र आदि धारण करते हैं,
we do our hair, like arrange our hair very nicely, fix our hair, and also dress up, nice clothes and all. But we're not doing anything for our soul.
इसलिए यही उदाहरण दे रहा है जैसे
So some example is given, just like
एक उदाहरण दे रहा है जैसे पिंजरे के अंदर में पक्षी है, पक्षी का अंदर में पक्षी है,
so just like a cage, we're not giving the food to the bird, but we are like ornamenting, decorating, and like renovating the cage so beautifully, keeping the cage very beautiful, but not feeding the bird inside.
अंत में वो पक्षी, अंत में वो पक्षी
So in the end, this bird,
मुच्छमान हो जाता है,
he like faints and dies.
क्या बोले, वही तो के मुच्छी हो जाता है, वही तो के मुच्छी हो जाता है। इसलिए शास्त्र में यही है संसार के जी उसी जगह जाना।
So the jivas in this world, we are like this. We're just decorating our bodies.
शरीर के भोजन देते जा रहे हैं, शरीर के भोजन देते जा रहे हैं, शरीर यानी आत्मा की भोजन देते हैं।
So we are feeding our body, but not our soul.
जतो भक्ति आदर्श है, अहित की अप्रीतियता जो आत्मा आत्मा की प्रसन्नता किसमें?
So how our soul be pleased?
हमें आगे कार्य इसी प्रकार है।
So this is the duty of Mahamaya.
महादुर्ग कहा गया।
So this world is also
माया आपके पास
no Mahadurga, this great potency which
है। इसलिए गोपियां भी
is the jailer of this world. So
इसकी प्रार्थना भी करें, कात्यायनी हे कात्यायनी देवी।
gopis are praying to Katyayani Devi.
आप तो महाजगनी और उदिस्य भी है।
You are a great yogi and controller also of everything. So hey Devi, please
हमें कृपा करें।
give mercy to us.
ये नंद गोप सुतम, नंद गोप, उनके पुत्र जो है कृष्ण मेरे पति बने।
That the son of Nanda Maharaj Krishna may become our husband. So by this mantra they were worshipping Devi.
भागवत में तो लिखा है पति देवी, पति में कुरुते नहीं, वो तो पति में जो जो क्या बोले भक्त जो है अपने भावना को रख देते।
So the devotees, she's saying Pati or Upapati? Like, but Gurudeva said, oh, Upapati me kurute namaha. Like, Gopis asking Krishna to become their paramour. But the main slok in the Bhagavatam saying that is saying Pati me kurute namaha. Gopis are asking for Krishna to become their husband.
सर्वेषु कृष्ण मंत्रेषु दुर्गा निष्ठाति देवते कृष्ण मंत्रेषु त्यागम शुद्ध सत्व शुद्ध स्वरूपा शक्ति वृत्ति कृष्ण भगवान यहाँ पर जो महामाया जो कार्य है यहाँ पर वास्तव रूप में वो जो माया के लिए ही।
So when they say Mahamaya, actually you should understand that it's for Jogamaya.
क्योंकि माया तो एक ही है।
Because Maya is only one actually. So for the Bada Jivas, the same Maya looks like, appears as Mahamaya. And those who are surrendered to God, so this Maya comes in the form of Jogamaya to them. So
किसके लेकर आए थे?
when
जोगमाया के और महामाया।
who Vasudeva brought from the
यशोदा देवी
place
के
where Jashoda had the babies.
कृष्ण और जोगमाया
You know,
दोनों
because
को लेकर आए।
Jashoda, she gave birth to
भगवान की
Krishna and Jogamaya, you
ऐसी
know.
शक्ति जो अलौकिक शक्ति जोगमाया की इच्छा से वसुदेव
But by the
महाराज
desire of Jogamaya,
देवकी
according to the transcendental potency of Krishna, Vasudeva couldn't see Krishna, only saw Jogamaya, the daughter.
पुत्री को जानी जोगमाया को
And
देख करके
Vasudeva saw
उठा करके लाए।
the daughter Jogamaya and brought her, along with him, back to Mathura.
जोगमाया को तो लेकर के आए। पहले कौन जन्म लिया?
Who took birth before, first?
तुम्हारी बुद्धि तो फिर अलग हो जाएगी।
Your intelligence, not
आगे आगे हो तो
like,
तो दूसरी बात हो जाएगा।
sorry, I couldn't hear what the devotee told. So Jogamaya is called Anuja, means Anu means she was born later, like she's the younger sister of Krishna, Anuja.
भगवान की इच्छा से
But by the desire of Lord,
यशोदा जी पुत्र पुत्र जो है कृष्ण की तरफ देख नहीं पाए।
Vasudeva Maharaj couldn't see
अथवा इसी प्रकार जो करते
Krishna, the son of Jashoda.
जब
Also, commentaries explain that when Vasudeva Maharaj he crossed the Jamuna and he came to Gokul,
के हाथ
then immediately
वो मथुरा
Krishna, who was in the hand of Vasudeva Maharaj, Mathuradish Krishna, disappeared.
और भगवान
And then, by the desire of Lord, at that same moment, the son of Jashoda came in his hands.
आज समझिए
Understand?
वो सोच रहे हैं मेरे पुत्र को मैं लेकर
He was thinking he was bringing his son from Mathura,
यहाँ पर सिद्धांत देते हैं
because the Siddhanta is one that
मथुरा के कृष्ण जो है वो मथुरा में नहीं जाते।
he also wouldn't go to Mathura.
ये भी सिद्धांत दे रहे हैं।
So this is the Siddhanta also.
अनेकों आचार्य टीकाकारों ने इस
Many acharyas in the commentaries they explain.
वृंदावन परित्यजन पाद में तो न गच्छति वृंदावन छोड़कर नहीं जाते।
Krishna doesn't leave Vrindavan to go anywhere.
अपने पुत्रों के लेकर के
So Vasudeva Maharaj, when he brought his son,
मथुरा के
and when he came to the border of Mathura to Vrindavan, and when he stepped inside Gokula,
जब आए
immediately when he crossed the Jamuna and came to Gokul,
महाराज के हाथ में था
Mathuradish was in the hands of Vasudeva Maharaj. At that exact moment of the border, he disappeared.
के साथ ही साथ
And immediately the
आगे के पुत्र जो है
son of Jashoda,
नंदन का
Nanda Nandana Krishna, Jashoda Nandana Krishna, came into his hands.
ये अनेकों टीकाकार
Many commentaries explain this.
कौन कृष्ण के लिए ये तो है किंतु आप सिद्धांत कैसे मानोगे ये यहाँ पर करे वृंदावन परित्यजन
Because Krishna says he doesn't take one step out of Vrindavan. And Jiva Goswami also says
कुल में रहते हैं
that Gokul Krishna, Krishna of Gokul, is always in Gokul. Mathuradish is always in Mathura,
गतागति
means Krishna of Dwaraka, Mathura, and Vrindavan, they're always in their respective places. Like Krishna doesn't go Gaman, means doesn't go here and there to one Dhamma to another.
इसलिए टीकाकार सर जीव गोस्वामी
So I think in the commentary of Jiva Goswami, or is in one commentary, this
में जब वो जमुना
information is there that immediately
धार आ गए
when he crossed the Jamuna, he came to Gokul, so that Mathuradish Krishna disappeared from the hands of Vasudev,
क्योंकि जो सुधा के
and the son of Jashoda came into his hands.
वो सोच रहे हैं मैं
But he was thinking, I brought my own son here. He was thinking that
ये सिद्धांत अच्छे लगता है
this is a good Siddhanta.
सिद्धांत यदि ले ले वृंदावन
Because if you analyze that Siddhanta, oh, Krishna doesn't take one step out of Vrindavan.
गतागति
And also Jiva Goswami explains that there's no Gaman, means Krishna doesn't go from one dham to another dham.
भी कहते हैं प्रकट में गमन
Actually, in Prakat Lila, looks like there is coming and going from different dhammas and to different dhammas, but no. Actually, the Mathura Krishna always stays in Mathura, Dwaraka Krishna always in Dwaraka.
क्रूर ने
But when Akrur,
नंदन के कृष्ण लेकर के
he took Nandana Krishna came to Akrur Ghat.
उस समय नंदन
At that moment, Nandana Krishna, he disappeared from the chariot.
कृष्ण
And Mathuradish Krishna,
क्रूर के रथ पर बैठ गए
he sat on the throne, on the chariot of Akrur, isn't it?
विचार से भी कहते हैं
So in this conception, we see that
वसुदेव महाराज सोच रहे हैं
Vasudeva Maharaj was thinking,
पुत्र के ही जसोदा के निकट मैं दे रहा हूँ,
oh, I'm giving my own son to Jashoda here. But this was not true. No.
तो उस समय उन्होंने क्या देखा
So at that moment, what did he see?
ना वहीं पर यशोदा के पुत्र के दर्शन नहीं किया,
So he didn't see the son of Jashoda at that moment.
क्या दिखा?
He only saw what? The daughter.
यशोदा के पुत्री को देखा।
So he saw the daughter of Jashoda, Jogamaya. So he took Jogamaya. Some people say
वसुदेव महाराज
that when Vasudeva Maharaj brought the baby there, Nandanandana Krishna and Jashodanandana Krishna, I mean, this Jashodananda and Devakinanda, they became one, like their body.
ये भी विचार कहते हैं,
So this also, some people also say.
किंतु इस विचार से फिर गमन
But if you say this,
वो युक्ति युक्त नहीं होता है।
then how to explain the Gaman, like Krishna is not going from one dham to another one, right?
अपने अपने
Because
सब रहते हैं,
all of them, they always stay in their own dham.
में रहते हैं, और द्वारका के कृष्ण दरगाह में ही रहते हैं।
Krishna of Mathura is always in Mathura, Krishna of Dwarka is always in Dwarka, and Krishna of Vrindavan always in Vrindavan. So if you say like this, that when he brought the baby from Mathura,
तो धाम में ही रहते हैं,
that baby came inside the baby of Vrindavan which was there, then how to establish this? That actually the baby of Mathura would never even come inside Vrindavan.
धाम में रहते हैं।
So God is always in his own dham. Do you understand? First try to understand.
मथुराधीश कृत्य मथुरा धाम में ही रहते हैं।
So the Mathura Dish always stays in Mathura dham. Dwarka Dish, Krishna always in Dwarka.
हाँ, आगे आगे ये युक्ति रहते हैं,
So this logic,
अतीब जो है
this logic is very good, very,
ये युक्ति दिखाते हैं आप।
and you have to think about
एक
it.
संदर्भ में जीव गोस्वामी पाद ऐसे लिखे हैं,
Jiva Goswami wrote in some Sandarbha.
हाँ, ये भी है,
He's saying, oh, Gurudev used to say that they became one. Yes, this is true.
विचार भी दिखा है।
But we can also analyze this.
मूर्ति आदि
Vishwanath Chakravarti and others. Many acharyas, other acharyas also explain.
अलग अलग आचार्य अपने अपने
Different acharyas, they
सिद्धांत दिखाते हैं
show their own siddhanta. I mean, their different siddhanta.
के ले ले।
Because if we take that logic into consideration, which one?
वृंदावन कृष्ण वृंदावन
That the Krishna of Vrindavan always stays in Vrindavan, the Krishna of Mathura always stays in Mathura, and the Krishna of Dwarka always in Dwarka. There's no gata gati. I mean, Krishna is not going from one dham to another dham, not coming and going.
वृंदावन के कृष्ण
Krishna of Vrindavan wouldn't come to Mathura and vice versa.
उसी के कहते बोले कौन आए थे,
So who came?
साधारण लोगों के समझाने
So just to make normal people understand, we say, oh, his Prakash came.
नहीं आकर उनके प्रकाश आ गया।
Oh, he didn't come originally, but his Prakash manifestation came. Just to make people understand, we speak so many things. Like, for example,
मन में लगे, ये कैसे हो,
I said something and you're like, oh, how possible? How possible? Then I say, okay, his Prakash, his manifestation came.
मूल नहीं आ गया प्रकाश।
Not the original one came, the manifestation.
जो आए थे
Actually, even Jiva Goswami wrote in a commentary that Nanda Maharaj, who came to the
नंद महाराज
bowl sacrifice, the Anushjaga of Kamsa
महाराज नहीं आए,
in Mathura with Krishna, not the original Nanda Maharaj came, but his manifestation is also written.
क्योंकि वो वहाँ पर अनेकों प्रकोष्ठ है,
Because there are many prakoshta, like compartments. So,
दिखाई पड़ता
so these prakoshtas, compartments are different from each other, and there's so much subtle conceptions about it.
है, क्योंकि ये जो विचार जो दिखाते जाते हैं उनको देखा ही नहीं।
So in this conception, we see that Vasudeva Maharaj didn't even see
जसोदानंदन के नहीं देखा,
Jashodanandana Krishna.
उन्होंने क्या देखा,
He only saw the
पुत्री के जो
daughter of Jashoda Jogamaya,
और उसको लेकर के आए,
and he brought her.
उसको लेकर अभी हमें कथा जो है फिर इधर लेकर के आए, गोकुल के फिर जमुना पार करके वसुदेव महाराज
Okay, so he crossed the Jamuna and
घर में आ गए,
he came to the
गोद में दे दिया।
Jays of Kamsa and gave this daughter to Devaki. Okay, still Jogamaya. But amazingly,
जब कंस
when Kamsa
देवकी के हाथ से
took this baby from the hands of Devaki,
माने लेने के लिए जब प्रयास
tried to take her,
है, तो उस समय वास्तव रूप में है, वो जोगमा कंस के स्पर्श करने ही नहीं दी,
actually, Jogamaya wouldn't allow Kamsa to touch her
असुर के हाथ
because
में जोगमा नहीं आए।
Jogamaya wouldn't come in the hands of a demon.
हाँ समझ लेंगे, क्योंकि यहाँ पर वर्णन है
So here he's saying that
कि
Kamsa, what did he do?
उससे हाथ से छीन लिया, किससे,
He took
देवकी से,
the baby from the hands of Devaki.
कैसे जो
So-
कैसे स्पर्श करेंगे,
how Kamsa would be able to touch Jogamaya, right?
रावण जब सीता जी के पर्सन मूल सीता के पर्सन
If Ravana didn't touch the original Sita, Ravana is a demon. So a demon
नहीं कर सकते
cannot never touch them.
हाँ समझिए
Understand?
इसलिए अनेकों युक्ति दिखा रहे हैं तो उस समय कंस के हाथ में जब आया
So when it came to the hands of Kamsa,
वास्तव में देवकी
actually,
के हाथ से
when
माने देवकी जब से जब वो छीन लिया
so when Kamsa took the baby from the hands of Devaki, Jogamaya was far away from him, and what came in his hand was Mahamaya. So who touched Mahamaya only? Kamsa.
है और कंस से उसके क्या करने लगे
And Kamsa then
पटक मारने के लिए प्रयास
tried to kill her.
कथा में तो उस समय उन्होंने क्या कि
So,
कंस के सिर पर ऐसे
but then
जमाया
Mahamaya, she kicked
सब बिल्कुल
Kamsa, and Kamsa fell.
है आस में
Understand?
कंस लुढ़क गया गया देख
Kamsa fell, and he saw on the
के तरफ
to the sky. He looked to the sky, looked up, and he saw his worshipful deity Kankali.
के पूजिता
So the worshipful deity of Kamsa was called
महामाया जी उसको
Kankali, Mahamaya. He saw her with 8 arms.
है तो वही देवी कहने लगा
Then this Devi told, "Hey, foolish,
मुझे क्या मारे
you want to kill me?
मारने वाले
The person who will kill you
नत्र कहीं
already was born in another place."
तो ये समस्त वर्णन होते जाए क्योंकि हम सिद्धांत के रखे
Because if we
और जो लोग हैं
keep the Siddhanta, actually the demons,
भगवान की जो स्वरूप शक्ति की वर्षा करनी
they cannot touch Bhagavan in his Swarupa Shakti.
कर नहीं पाए
Even Ravan couldn't do it.
दूसरी की बात है
What to speak of others?
और भी कहते हैं रावण वगैरह छोड़ दिए
What to speak of Ravan actually?
विमोहन जो लीला है
Even in the Brahma Vimohan Leela,
उसको भी गंभीर हुए विचार करते हैं
also there is a deep conception here that actually Brahmaji,
भी
he
कृष्ण के सखा अथवा भी चुरी मैंने ये नहीं हाथ लगा नहीं पाए
couldn't put his hand also in the friends of Krishna and his calves.
उनके प्रयास किए
When Brahmaji tried to steal them by the desire of Bhagavan,
समस्त सखा सब
all those sakas actually disappeared.
आज समझिए
Understand?
और उनके एक प्रतिमूर्ति हुए पर
And some pratimurti, like some statue or manifestation of them, manifested. And Brahmaji was thinking, I am taking
को मैं
the sakas and calves of Krishna. I'm stealing them. Brahma was thinking.
रावण अथवा असुर की बात छोड़ दी कंस की बात छोड़ दी ब्रह्मा जी के भी स्पर्श करने नहीं दिया है? ऐसे भी टीकाकार वर्णन करते हैं जब हम लोग सूक्ष्म विचार में जाए
So, if we analyze in a subtle way,
सबसे अंदर जाए
they had disappeared.
तो ब्रह्मा जी जब ब्रह्मलोक से जब लौट करके आए
So, when Brahma came back from Brahmaloka,
और आश्चर्य देखा क्या
he saw amazingly that Krishna was doing the same pastimes with his friends and his cows.
वही लीला कर रहे सखाओं के साथ सखा और गोवत्सचारण बछड़ा और
So Brahma saw the same friends and calves are there. So the time that Brahma took to go and come back from Brahmaloka, how many days had passed? 1 year had passed just for Brahma to go and come back from Brahmaloka.
हमने जो कथा दो तरह की कथा सुनाते हैं
So
बृहद भागवतम की कथा हम
there's one story of Brihad Bhagavatamrita,
वो कथा नहीं है
but in the Bhagavatam this story is not there.
कथा क्या है
What is the story of Brihad Bhagavatamrita?
वो पालक और सखाओं के
That
चोरी करके
Brahma had stolen the sakas and calves and kept here. And then
स्वयं कृष्ण ब्रह्मा के रूप धारण किए
Brahma, Brihad Bhagavatamrita actually explains that Krishna himself
भागवत के पढ़ो
took the form of Brahma.
दो कथाएं हैं
So there are two stories. Like so, the Brihad Bhagavatamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam both tell the story of Brahma Vimohan Leela, but in a little bit different way.
जब गए तो तुम
So Brihad Bhagavatamrita explains that when the original four-headed Brahma came there,
ब्रह्मा जाने के
so the Dwarpala, the
में ब्रह्मा
doorman, didn't allow him to go because Krishna before he had already come in the form of Brahma there, and he told to the doorman, "Oh, maybe another person like me will come with 4 heads. Don't allow him to come inside."
ऐसे करके
So Krishna in the shape of Brahma told this and came inside Brahmalok. And then the original 4-headed Brahma, he came to Brahmalok, and the doorman didn't allow him to come inside.
बोले हम तो प्रभु जो अंदर गए ही अब
Oh, my Lord has already come inside. Who are you, an impostor? I am the Sanak 4-headed. No, you are not. So the doorman kicked him out.
तो ब्रह्मा जी विचार
So Brahma was thinking, what is this?
ये बृहद भागवत की कथा है
So this story is in Brihad Bhagavatamrita actually. But if you analyze, so the story,
हम दोनों कथा के एक करके
sometimes we speak like together, these two stories, but the stories are different in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita and Shrimad Bhagavatam, this Brahma Vimohan Lila.
तो उस समय उन्होंने क्या कि फिर यहाँ पर आए और देखा तब आगे की कथा यहाँ पर ये तो भागवत में कहते हैं ब्रह्मा
So
जी
Bhagavata explains that when Brahma,
वो बाबा का सखा वो बाबा
Bhagavata explains that
को चोरी करके गुफा में रखे जब ब्रह्म लोग गए
that Brahma
आने जन्म उनके एक साल ही लगे ब्रह्म
took the cows and sakas and put them in a cave,
एक वर्ष
and this took
और
a
जब
year
लौट करके आए
just
फिर
to
देखने के लिए
come to Brahmaloka and come back. A year had passed.
है? तब उस समय देखा क्या
Then he
वही जो
saw
वृंदावन में जो है कृष्ण
that Krishna in Vrindavan,
सखाओं के साथ और बछड़ों के साथ गोचारण कर तो
he was
ब्रह्मा जी
grazing
देखा तो बच्चा
his
हो गया बोलिए क्या
cows with his friends.
इधर कैसे आ गया
Then Brahma was like, "Well, how possible they are here?
अरे अभी अभी तो मैं इनको रख करके गया
I had just put them
है?
in
तो
another
ब्रह्मा
place."
जी चार माथा है ना दो माथा
So
इस तरफ
Brahma
लगाया
has
दो
four
माथा इस
heads.
तरफ लगाया
So two heads you were looking to
जहाँ पर
at
कृष्ण
one side
और
and
सखाओं
another
के
two
साथ
heads to the other
गोचारण
side.
कर रहे हैं हैं? दो माथा इस तरफ
So he put two heads facing one side and another two heads facing another side.
पड़े हुए सखा लोग और बच्चा समुचित और कृष्ण यहाँ पर भी करते हैं
So he saw
हैं?
that the cows
देख
and the
करके वो तो
sakas,
बोले ये कैसे हो
they
गया
were sleeping in one side and another side they were playing with Krishna. He was like, "Oh, that was possible." Then he thought,
ये प्रभु छोड़ करके और कोई ऐसे तो रूप धारण नहीं कर सकता
nobody could do that, only God.
और उसी कथा को भागवत में वर्णन होते जा रहे हैं
But this same story in Srimad
फिर आगे
Bhagavatam
की कथा जो है कृष्ण जब गोचारण आदि करते हैं कृष्ण नीचे जो वत्स के चारण कर रहे हैं
is saying
ऊपर जो है गाय जो आदि गोप लोग गायों के चारण कर रहे हैं
that
और जो गाय एक साल
that the
बछड़ा आदि हुआ है
cows
उसके
were
नीचे के गाय जो है
they were coming,
एक
so
साल के जो पुराने जो बछड़ा जो है
cows they were coming towards their calves, which were 1 year old, and they were not giving attention to the newborn baby calves.
लोग तो परेशानी हो गया अरे क्या बात है
So
रोक नहीं पा रहे
they couldn't even stop the cows to go to the 1 year old calves.
छोड़ करके
So the cows they were not staying with the newborn calves and just coming to the 1 year old calves.
बलदेव प्रभु भी समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं
Even Baladev Prabhu couldn't see this when it happened. Because actually, the day that Brahma stole the calves and sakas of Krishna,
चोरी किया बछड़े को सगा को चोरी किया था उस दिन बलदेव प्रभु नहीं
and that day actually Baladeva hadn't come for cow grazing. Maybe it was the day of his Janma Nakshatra or something, but that day Baladeva didn't come along for cow grazing. The day when Brahma stole the calves and sakas.
अच्छा सुनो आज इस कथा को सुन कर
Okay, listen. The devotee asked about Aghasuran.
उस दिन नहीं उस दिन का इसके बाद तो हुआ ना इसके अघासुर के प्रसंग तो हो जाए इसके बाद तो हुआ ना अच्छा तो बलदेव प्रभु विचार करने लगे
So
ये
Baladev was
कैसे
thinking, how this is possible?
ये साधारण रीति जो है
Because normally the cows,
बछड़े के तरफ
they'll give attention to the newborn calves. They lick their body, they feed, breastfeed. But the cows, what they were doing?
बछड़े के जो है
They were not giving attention to the newborn babies.
जो है बछड़े जो है नया बछड़े उसके दूध पिलाने के लिए दौड़ करके
And they were running away to breastfeed the 1 year old calves. This was amazing. Baladev was thinking,
ये हमें तो कौन सा माया हमें तो कोई
which kind of this Maya? Because Maya cannot affect me. You know, Baladev Prabhu is also Bhagavatatus. So almost 1 year had passed and Baladev Prabhu didn't even realize what was going on. And also Baladev,
समझ में आ रहे ना बलदेव प्रभु उसके लिए भी अनुसंधान किया बलदेव विचार में फिर बलदेव प्रभु चिंतन ध्यान करो ओहो
then Baladeva thought, oh, this is the Maya of Krishna.
बलदेव विचार कर रही है कन्हैया
Then Baladeva said, hey Kanaya,
के दूध पी करके तेरा पेट भरे ही नहीं है
you don't fill your stomach by the milk of only one mother, right? That's why you want to drink the milk of all the ladies in Braj.
कृष्ण की अपने स्तन पान कराने के लिए चिंता की और जितने भी गाय भी थी
And also all the cows.
कृष्ण केवल मां जिसने के दूध पीते हम लोग के दूध पिए
Because the cows also wanted to breastfeed Krishna with their milk. Not only, otherwise Krishna only drinks the milk of Mother Jashoda. So all the cows also, they became Krishna. I mean, Krishna became all the cows. because he wanted the cows, all the cows wanted to give their milk to
आगे की
Krishna.
जाकर के लीला भी किया ये कृष्ण कृष्ण जो है उस समय जोग माया ने देवी
क्योंकि आगे के जाके
क्या बोले
So
ऐलान कर दिया
Jogamaya, she announced
पूर्णवासी
that,
ने भी ऐलान कर दिया
Purnamasi announced
ये इस
that
साल जो है वो अत्यंत शुभ साल
this
मानते
was
हैं
very auspicious year,
तुम्हारे जितने भी लड़का व लड़की के सब
and all the girls and boys should marry that
शादी
year.
करा इसी प्रकार कृष्ण आगे जाकर जो रासना करेंगे कोई ना उंगली उठाए
This is why, because later when Krishna would do Ras Leela, nobody would be able to say anything against, because like Krishna actually was married to all the gopis. So just to avoid this, also Krishna did this.
दूसरी
भावना को दुरुस्त करने के
गोपियों के साथ
लिए भी कर दिया
अपर स्त्री के साथ किया किंतु वास्तव में वो नहीं है
Actually, you can say, oh, Krishna, he did Ras Leela with the wife of others, but actually no,
अभी हम जो
he got married to all of them.
ये बृहद भागवतमृत भागवत की कथा में कहीं कहीं
So
थोड़ा
there is some slight difference between the Brahma Mohan Lila Katha that is in the Bhagavatam and Brihad Bhagavatamrita.
तो यहाँ पर जो भगवान के जो दिखा रहे हैं फिर ब्रह्मा जी आकर के
So then
स्तुति आदि करने
Brahmaji
लगे
came and he did so many prayers.
तो ब्रह्मा जी के प्रतीत कराया ये ब्रह्मा जी ये जो सखा लोग मेरे सखा लोग ये बछड़ा जो है
फिर ब्रह्मा जी आकर
ये कौन है तुम अपने देखो इसलिए
So then Krishna showed,
ब्रह्मा जी ने क्या
look,
देखा
who are
सब
these cows and my friends. So Brahmaji saw all of them with 4 arms.
गाय और जो सखा एक गाय के बछड़े और गाय सब
फिर
चतुर्भुज
ब्रह्मा जी
में
ने क्या देखा
अपने इष्ट
All
देव
the
अपने
cows and the sakas he saw in 4 arms
तब देखे
form,
ब्रह्मा जी तो
just like his Ishtadev.
हैरान हो गए
Then Brahmaji became so amazed.
स्तुति आदि करने लगे
He did so many
तो यहाँ पर
prayers,
जब फिर जब हो
Tavastuti.
गया तो वो गुफा में जो था वो सब अंतर्धान हो गए फिर यहाँ
So
पर
those who
आकर
were in the cave, they disappeared.
के सब गुफा में जो चोरी करके रखा था
So those
वो सब अंतर्धान
who
हो
Brahma
गए
had kept in the cave,
अदृश्य हो गए
they disappeared.
फिर यहाँ पर जब फिर उनको वही लीला दिखाया
So again, he saw that Leela.
तो कोई ब्रह्मा जी विचार करने लगे
Then Brahmaji thought,
क्योंकि ब्रज के ये समस्त जो है गाय बछड़ा कृष्ण से अभिन्न माना जाता
because these cows and cows and cows, they are non different from Krishna.
कर रहे हैं
But for Leela, Krishna manifests many forms.
अनेक रूप आदि दर्शन करा रहे हैं
Actually, to relish Leela Ras, Krishna manifests so many forms.
ये तो एकदम हो रहा है
That's why Brahma did so many prayers.
श्लोक कैसे करीब करीब 42 श्लोक है एक 42 श्लोक के द्वारा
I think 42 verses,
स्तुति आदि कर
Brahmaji did
कम नहीं है
many prayers to Krishna.
ये बोले 40 श्लोक
Okay, 40 verses. I think it's 42 verses. She's saying it's 40. Anyway,
एक है तो बोले 40 लोग मेरे ख्याल से 42 लोग है चलो दूसरे कम कर दिए
अरे असली में तो ब्रह्मांड में भेजने की जरूरत नहीं लीला चल रही ना वो लीला से एक दूसरे ब्रह्मांड में चले जाते
so the Leela goes from one universe to another universe.
हैं अनंत ब्रह्मांड है
There are unlimited universes.
हमारे को ब्रह्मांड
लीला चल रही है ना
की लीला
So the Leela happens in Alavat Chakrane. There are unlimited universes, billions.
अवधि से लीला परे
भाई ये बताए वृंदावन
So in each universe, there's only one Vrindavan.
ये जरूरी नहीं है कि सब ब्रह्मांड में लीला किसी ब्रह्मांड में
It's not,
और एक
जैसे अभी हम लोग
maybe like in all universes, not happening at the same time. For example, in this universe now, the Leela is not happening. The Leela already happened in Dwapara Yuga.
में लीला होगी
वो अभी जो लीला और कोई मिस
But now this Leela is happening in another universe because there are Ananta Crore, means unlimited and billions of universes. So it's not necessary these Leelas are happening in the same universe at the same time. Maybe it's happening in one universe, maybe not in another. So the commentaries explain.
नहीं है एक ही साथ में सब ब्रह्मांड में हो किसी ब्रह्मांड में लीला होती है किसी ब्रह्मांड में नहीं भी होती है ऐसी
वो अंतर्धान हो गई ब्रह्मा जी धर्म
हाँ वो अंतर्धान हो गया
अच्छा बस
ब्रह्मा जी धर्म अच्छा बस अरे हाँ ब्रह्मा जी ने जब देखा ब्रह्मा जी का
One-
दर्शन कराया
So Brahmaji, he saw, he had the darshan.
बालक और क्या है
He saw that all the cows and the sakas,
कहाँ हुए? हाँ? वो कृष्ण चराने नहीं नहीं, वो तो चुरा है तो हम तो उधर थे। नहीं, जब तक ब्रह्मा जी नहीं सुनेंगे,
You didn't
जब
listen.
तक ब्रह्मा जी नहीं आया,
So before Brahmaji coming, because just to go and come back, a year had
ये
passed.
साल जो है,
So in this 1 year,
समस्त असली होते जा रहे थे।
so they were the
हाँ,
original.
2-4 दिन बाकी कई करीब जो है, ये तो कौन था?
So
वही
who were
असली
they?
जो था,
They were
उसके
the
साथ
original.
रहते जा रहे। वो कृष्ण की सखा
So the sakas of Krishna and the
है, बछड़े जो
cows,
असली कृष्ण के साथी है।
they were with
और
Krishna.
ब्रह्मा जी के दिखा रहे हैं।
But just to
ये
show
देखो, ये
Brahmaji,
सखा आदि कौन है? कृष्ण की एक स्वरूप ही तो है।
who are the sakas?
कृष्ण से सारे अभिन्न
Actually,
हैं।
they are no different from Krishna. They're one sarup of Krishna.
तो ब्रह्मा जी ने किसको किसको हरण किया?
So Brahmaji actually he stole to whom? The Chaya, the shadow, and he kept in the cave.
कृष्ण
Okay.
किसके साथ कर रहे हैं?
And Krishna is playing with whom?
इधर कोई अपना ही है, अपने के साथ करते जाए। आपने दो शब्द सुनो।
Listen two words.
इसी के कहा देते सिद्धांत।
This is the
कृष्ण
Siddhanta.
जो चरा रहे हैं, बछड़े जो चरा रहे हैं।
So Krishna,
बछड़े जो जिस प्रकार हैं। हाँ, अब
Krishna was grazing
वो
the
अपना ही है सब।
the cows that they were 1 year old or something.
स्वयं
The old
स्वयं जो
cows.
बने हुए
Cows.
हैं, जब वो ब्रह्मा जी के पतित करा रहे हैं, जब ब्रह्मा जी
So when Brahmaji came,
मैं क्योंकि भगवान और भगवान की जो ये समस्त जो है अभिन्न कहा गया।
because they are all no different from Krishna.
स्वयं ही प्रकाश करते हैं।
So actually they manifest by Shuddha Sattva, all these cows and sakas and
अरे सभी तो भगवान जो नहीं है तो और कौन है क्या?
so if they're not Bhagavan, who they are?
सभी
All of them are manifestation of Swarupa Shakti.
है। नंद जसोदा कौन है?
Who is Nanda and Jashoda actually?
कृष्ण बलराम के जो है उसमें तत्व जी दिखाते जा रहे हैं। आप जड़ विचार को छोड़ दीजिए।
So give up the material conception and come to the Shuddha Vichara, the pure conception. Come to think about Swarupa Shakti. What is Swarupa Shakti?
कृष्ण की
Actually,
प्रकार प्रकाश
all of them, they want manifestation of Krishna. All of them.
अपने परिकर जो
All the associates,
सब कृष्ण के
all of them,
से
they are
अभिन्न है।
no different from Krishna. All of the associates. Understand?
अभिन्न है, कृष्ण से कोई भेद नहीं है।
There's no difference between them and Krishna.
नहीं तो आप इसको जो तत्व सिद्धांत में एकमेव
Otherwise, how can you say this Tata Siddhanta? Ekameva Dvitiyam. I'm one without a second.
किंतु लीला के लिए अनेक स्वरूप
Just for Leelas, Krishna manifests many forms.
स्वरूप तद्रूप वैभव स्वयं रूप तदेकात्म रूप और आवेश तीन रूपे प्रभु करें न
So
विलास।
Lord manifests in three forms: Swayam Rup, Tadekatma Rup, and Avesh. It's not easy to understand.
एक ही तत्व तो एक ही है।
So Tattva is only one.
शास्त्र में लिखा है, एकमेव
Shastra explains.
एक ही परम तत्व है।
There's only one Param Tattva.
लीला और सत्साधन के लिए
But to
लीला
manifest
के लिए अनेक
Leelas and to relish the Ras, Krishna manifests in many forms.
राधा जी क्या है?
What is Srimati Radhika?
कृष्ण से राधा अभिन्न, राधा से कृष्ण अभिन्न।
She's not different from Krishna. Krishna is not different from Radha. They're not different.
जिसे जथा दिदलवत जथा दिदलवत उपनिषद में जथा
And Upanishad explains,
जैसे
just like
बीज जो होता है उसके दो
a seed who has two
दल होता है, दल माने
parts.
दो पीस में बना हुआ है।
You know, like sometimes the seeds they have like two halves.
ऊपर से एक दिखाई
Externally they are covered by. Have you eaten like almonds?
होता है, दो ही होता
The almond also is like two parts.
है। किसी बोलता है एक हो,
So Krishna also
के लिए दो
one.
होता है।
He's one just for manifest to relish Lila Ras, manifest in two forms.
राधा कृष्ण में कोई भेद नहीं है।
Radha and Krishna are no different.
शक्ति शक्तिमान और अभेद।
There's no difference between Shakti and Shaktiman.
कोई भेद नहीं है। आज
Understand?
ये जो जितने भी स्वयं भगवान इसलिए कहते हैं एकमेव परम तत्वम, एक ही परम तत्व।
So one Paramatata, Jiva Goswami explains.
परम तत्वम साबिक अचिंत्य सकते, अपने साबिक
One,
अचिंत्य सकते
only
के
one
द्वारा
transcendental truth.
लीला जी दिखा।
And by his Achintya Shakti, inconceivable potency, he manifests all many forms.
आज
All of them are Krishna himself, all of the associates.
किसको भेजा? हाँ? कौन सा ब्रह्मांड में भेजा? मैं नहीं करूँ, वो तो कर।
I'm not saying this, he's saying this.
मैंने कहा था गुरु भेजा बोले, वो तो बोल रहे हैं।
He's saying this, I'm not saying.
मैंने कहीं भेजा नहीं, भेजने की क्या जरूरत है? बोले लीला औलावत चक्र के
So he said that he sent to another universe or something, but
इसको समझने में बहुत समय लगेगा
it's very take so much time to understand this.
भेजने की क्या जरूरत है
Why need to send him to another universe to see this lila or something?
एक ब्रह्मांड से दूसरे ब्रह्मांड आदि लीला चलते रहते भेजे के क्या भेजेंगे
So the lilas are happening in one universe, then another universe,
भेजने भेजने की जरूरत
but no need to send or something like that. The lilas, they are going, they're unlimited universes.
अरे वही कई कथा को जो है देखो कथा को समझने के लिए
So-
समझाने के लिए
So to understand the kata and to make people understand, we speak all these things. Try to understand.
बात
That's why Jiva Goswami, he wrote
साधक
that the sadhak,
भाव राज्य में जब भी पहुंच भी जाए
when he attains to bhav,
अभी उसके शब्द की मौल तब तक रहेगा
still in the bhav stage, there is some, like something bad in the words, like
क्या
which kind of thing?
कंटेमिनेशन रहेगा
Contamination things. So
उसको भेज दिया
contamination in the words, because this material world. So if you say something, always some contamination in the words.
जो चलते जा
You're saying that he sent him there. No, the leelas are just going from universe to another universe.
या हजार तुम की पर इस्लाम नहीं करे ब्रह्म संहिता
So I'm not saying Brahma Samhita, Jiva Goswami told
साधक यहाँ तक भी साधक भाव
that the sadhaka, even in the stage of bhav,
श्रोता और वक्ता
even the listener and the speaker of the kata, both are in bhav stage.
भी भाव
The speaker is in the bhav stage, and the listener also in the bhav stage of bhav. But until they are staying in this material world, somehow there will be some contamination in the words, in the sound. How can we understand? How can we tell them, make them understand? Like you say,
हाँ उसके भेज
to send them.
करने भेजने के
So,
लीला के लिए वो
what do you say send? To send to another place? Actually, Leela Shakti is making these Leelas in all universe. You cannot understand how this happened. You say, oh, they send the Leela to another universe. Okay. Understand?
के भाषा में
So in your words, in your language, sorry.
क्या वो अंतर्ध्यान हो जाते हैं वो छाया जो है छाया अंतर्ध्यान हो जाती है
So this chaya, this shadows, they disappeared. Means like this manifestation of the calves and friends, they disappeared. For example, Ravan kidnapped Chaya Sita, right? And Ravan was thinking,
सीता को मैं हरण करके लाया
I am taking
किंतु ये सत्य नहीं
the real wife of Ram, but this was not true.
जो पकड़ा
When Ravan got hold of Sita, Sita he got? The Chaya Sita.
है तो यहाँ पर भी तत्व दर्शन देव है ब्रह्मा
So
जी
the philosophy is there.
कृष्ण के ये सब तो सरस्वती के प्रकाश सब है जितने इनके पकड़ नहीं पाए हाथ में
Brahmaji couldn't put his hands on the calves and friends of Krishna because they were all manifestation of Krishna,
आपको समझ नहीं पाए
like, internal potency.
भूमि में अंतर्ध्यान हो गया
Even
इधर ही तो लिखा है
actually it's saying that they disappeared in the earth. When Brahmaji,
जो लिखा है टीका में
whatever is saying in the commentary, you can read,
वो टीका में लिखा है
it is saying that
ब्रह्मा जी बछड़े
when Brahmaji,
के जब
he
पकड़ करके लाने के लिए प्रयास किया
tried to take the calves and sakas and bring them to another place, by the desire of the Lord, the original friends of Krishna and the calves,
भूमि में ही अंतर
they disappeared inside the earth. The earth, it's written like that.
बोले तो आपके और
If I speak too much, you'll be even more doubts. So that's why I'm not saying much. But it's saying that they came inside the earth.
अंतर
They came inside the earth. They came to the inside the earth. The earth.
जो क्या भगवान ने किया कि अपने एक
Then Bhagavan, he
छाया दिल प्रकाश
created a chaya, like a shade of them, some shadow. And then Brahma took these shades and put in the cave. So
और अपनी इच्छा से जो है, वो उन्हीं अपने सखाओं के साथ विचारण करने लगे
then Krishna started again to graze the cows and with his friends and etc. But okay, when Brahma, he was having these doubts, and then he came and Brahma thought, who are these cows and sakas with Krishna? Because Brahma saw, I also saw that the sakas are also in the cave and also here with Krishna. So who are the original and who are the fake ones, artificial? So just to make Brahma to have more faith,
सखा लोग और बच्चे लोग क्या
then all the sakas and the cows, they manifested 4 arms.
ये तुम देखो तुम्हें तुम्हारी इष्ट देव
Your Ishtadev, your worshipable deity,
आज वो जो कुछ भी है
means the sakas, they are no different from me.
मैं ही एक स्वरूप में ही
In one, I'm them also in another form.
क्यों यहाँ पर वर्णन के चतुर्मुख रूप में सब उसके देखा
So Brahma saw all of them with 4 arms. So the 4-headed Brahma, he saw all of them in the form of his own Ishtadev, Garabodakashai, Vishnu.
आज
Understand?
शब्द उसमें करे जिसे करे ना स्तुति आदि करने लगे
So these prayers of
क्षमा कर दो उसमें करना चैतन्य
Brahma in Chaitanya Charitamrita in the first
प्रथम इसमें आ रहे हैं
so in the Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that the Brahma was doing prayers and then
या आप तो पिता हो
he said, "Oh, I'm your son and you're my father." And the father doesn't take the offense of a son, please forgive me. Then Bhagavan told, I'm your father? No, who is your father?
तुम्हारे पिता तो चतुर्थ क्या बोलते हैं
Your father is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, not me.
वहीं पर करे ना ब्रह्मा जी कहने लगे
So Brahmaji told,
ये पिता कबू पुत्र के
a father will never take the offense of his son. So, hey Prabhu,
ब्रह्मा जी का
I'm
मैं आपके पुत्र हूँ
I'm your son.
मेरे अपराध को क्षमा कर
Please forgive my offense, Brahma told.
तो उस समय कृष्ण
Then Krishna told, look, yeah, I'm a gopa, I'm a cowherd. Your father is another person, not me. Who is your father?
गर्भोदक से विष्णु
It's Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, not me.
तुम नारायण कहते हैं कि आप मूल नारायण नहीं हो उसमें नारायण और ये कहते हैं
So there's Narayana and Mul Narayana. But aren't you the Mul Narayana, the original Narayana? Brahma told to Krishna. Yeah, and it was true.
ये समस्त तत्व विचार
So there are so many Tattva Vicharas.
हाँ जी प्रतीत करा दिया
Because
बात करा दिया
Brahma, like this, he became so much with faith.
कौन है अब कृष्ण से अभिन्न
Just to make like Brahma having so much faith that all the sakas and cows, they were known different from Krishna.
तत्व अनेक नहीं है तत्व एक ही तत्व है
So there's only one Tata, Bhagavat Tata, Krishna Tata.
कृष्ण तत्व की विचार क्या दे रहे स्वयं रूप तदिकात्म रूप आवेश तीन रूपे प्रभु सदा करें विलास
So Lord always manifests in three forms.
ब्रजेंद्र नंदन स्वयं रूप स्वयं प्रकाश
Swayam Rup, Swayam Prakash, and then
कृष्ण तत्व को विचार करना पड़ेगा ना
we have to think about Krishna Tata. So there is Swayam Rup, Tadekatma Rup, Avesh.
स्वयं रूपे ब्रजे ब्रजेंद्र स्वयं रूप है मूल वो स्वयं रूप के दो प्रकार ये क्या स्वयं रूप और
Swayam Rup is the original, and then has two manifestations, Swayam Rup and Swayam Prakash.
आगे जो है वैभव आवेश अनेक विचार करते हैं तत्व तो एक ही है
Many conceptions.
द्वैतवादी लोग
So the Tata is one.
ही तत्व है
So there's only one supreme truth. The Advaitavadis, they say, only one Brahman without a second. This is true. This is the word of the Vedas, real, really. So,
थोड़ी लिखा हुआ
yeah, the Advaitavadis, what they're saying, they didn't write themselves. It's written in the Vedas. Brahma is only one. There's no two absolute truth.
किंतु उनकी अनेक जो
But he has many prakash,
प्रकाश लेकर
many manifestations.
स्वयं रूप तदिकादु आदि ये सब चलते हैं उनके शक्ति लेकर चलते हैं। वो शक्ति मान के शक्ति को मानते नहीं है
Also, he has his potency, but they don't believe in the potency. Advaitavadis don't believe in the potency of Lord.
ये शक्तिमान और शक्ति को मानते हैं। गौड़ीय वैष्णव
But the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they,
विचार में
in the pure conception, they always believe in two things, just like the conception of Madhacharya. He's raising two fingers, Brahma and Brahma Shakti, but Brahma and his potency, God and his potency.
किंतु शक्ति से शक्तिमान में कोई भेद नहीं है
But there's no difference between Shakti and Shaktiman.
इसलिए चैतन्य चरितामृत में दिखाया गया
So in Chaitanya Charitamrita shows, who is actually Nanda and Jashoda?
है प्रकाश चैतन्य चरितामृत में लिखा है
It's written in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
सभी शुद्ध स्तुति की प्रकाश
All of them are a manifestation of Shuddha Sata. But according to Rasa Vichar, they are manifestations of Srimati Radhika.
ज्यादा बोले तो आपकी
Bodily expansion of Srimati Radhika. If I speak too much, you'll be dizzy. You'll be dizzy. Who is actually Nanda and Jashoda?
हाजी नंद जो
They are Srimati Radhika. Huh?
कैसे
How possible?
हाजी जो
Because
हाजी जो साक्षात जो
Srimati Radhika, she is directly the Madhurya Ras.
है कि
But Vatsalya Ras is also included in Madhurya Ras.
जो रस में जो
So,
रस उस बात्सल्य रस की मूर्त विग्रह
so
नंद जसोदा
the personification of Vatsalya Ras is Nanda and Jashoda.
जसोदा राधा से अभिन्न
So Nanda and Jashoda are non different from Srimati Radhika. This is the Tata Vichar. Understand?
ये सुबल सदन के सब
Who is Subal Shridam?
प्रकार समस्त
Because just like all the rivers, they come to the ocean and they meet in the ocean.
नदी में समस्त नदियां समाहित
But although all the rivers are in the ocean,
के जल बसमत
still the waters of all these rivers, they remain separate.
ऊपर से देखते हैं तो भाई
Externally, it looks like all the rivers, they mix in the ocean.
एक जथा अनद्दा
Looks like. There's even a shloka in the Bhagavatam. What is the shloka, Uttam?
ये भागवत की श्लोक है हम नहीं
It's a shloka in the Bhagavatam. I'm not saying.
ये तो अद्वैतवादी लोग
The Advaitavadis, they
और क्या बोलते हैं द्वैतवादी द्वैतवाद में यहीं पर विरोध हो जाता है भागवत में स्पष्ट लिख दिया अद्वैतवादी तो
so Advaitavadis, they quote this verse to speak against dualism.
समस्त नदियां
Just like
समुद्र आकर के
all the rivers, they meet in the ocean and become only one, you know.
किंतु समस्त नदियां समुद्र में
But
होने पर
although all the rivers meet in the ocean,
नदियों की जल अपने अपने स्वरूप में स्थित रहता
the waters of different rivers they remain separate actually, even inside the
है।
ocean.
विज्ञान के अनुसार देखिए प्रत्येक
But if you analyze according to the science,
अपने अपने स्वरूप में स्थित रहता है।
every substance remains in their own,
हो जाता है।
like they cannot mix actually to another thing.
एक हो गया।
You know, Advaitavadis, they say that everything mixed together and becomes one.
नदी के जल मिल करके एक हो
Oh, the water of one river mixed with the water of another river and becomes one.
नहीं होता है। हर वस्तु
But actually, no, because each thing, each
अपने अपने स्वरूप रहता है।
substance always remains in their own form.
देख रहे हैं
So, according to the stool drish, like a gross point of view, we see and looks like they're mixing, but actually not mixing. There's one shloka in Bhagavatam.
अद्वैतवाद लगता
So externally, if you read some shloka like this from Bhagavatam, looks like it's Advaitavad,
है एकत्रित होकर के
like monism philosophy, but actually no.
ठीक उसी प्रकार जो हम जो तत्व विचार रस विचार में देखो
So in the Rasa Vichar, you can see
माधुर्य रस को क्या
that actually all the rasas are included in Madhurya Ras.
स्फीत करा दे बढ़ा दे हैं? जैसे समुद्र के
Like
समुद्र अपने महानता सबसे बजाय रहते हैं।
the ocean is always so great.
स्वरूप में कोई ये नहीं होता घटते नहीं है बढ़ते नहीं
Actually, the water of the ocean doesn't increase, not diminish also. Imagine the great ocean, the ocean, the oceans.
स्फीत करा दे रहा है
Because,
किसी कुछ आता जाता है
because actually the water,
तो जल रहा है
there's so like infinite water in the ocean.
सिंगार रस समुद्र रस
So in the same way,
समावेश हो जाता
all the rasas they mix in the Shringaras.
है सिंगार रस की जो है ये श्रीमती सिंह मुक्तमान के
So who is the personification of Shringaras? Srimati Radhika.
वही राधिका कृष्ण
And this Radha,
वात्सल्य रस साधन करने के लिए
just to make Krishna relish Vatsalya Rasa, Radha comes in the form of Nanda and Jashoda.
है? इसलिए कहते हैं ना रस विचार में
That's why in Rasa Vichar explains that
मित्र रस वैरी रस
Mitra Ras and Vairi Ras, Jog Vyog, many kinds of divisions.
रस तत्व जो आप पढ़ोगे सिर्फ
If you read Rasa Tattva, your head will be spinning.
रस
One thing is Yoga Ras, another Vyog Ras,
मित्र रस
Mitra Ras also.
है एक होता है शत्रु रस
Another thing is Shatru
ये
Ras.
सब लिखा गया एक रस उसके ऊपर कैसे होता है ये
So how possible all this?
चिंता शक्ति
This is because of Achinta Shakti, inconceivable potency.
आज
Inconceivable potency.
राधा जी ही
So Radha herself,
स्वरूप में
in one form,
नंद जसोदा के वात्सल्य के रस में प्रकट होकर
he manifests as Nanda Jashoda,
साधन करा
just to make Krishna to relish that ras.
इसलिए कहते हैं यद्यपि श्रीमती
So,
राधिका कृष्ण के समस्त
Although Srimati Radhika, she can fulfill all the desires of Krishna, all the desires of Krishna, Srimati Radhika can fulfill.
संत दास सबका वात्सल्य माधुर्य
Shanta Das Vatsalya Madhurya. Still,
करने के लिए
just to relish so many leelas and rasas, Srimati Radhika manifests many forms for the pleasure of Krishna.
और उसी की सहायता करने के लिए बलदेव प्रभु आए।
And also Baladev comes to help in this also.
ये सब विचार देते जा सत्य विशुद्ध सत्य इसमें विचार चैतन्य चैतन्य में दिखाए
Chaitanya Charitamrita explains about Sattva, Vishuddha
बलदेव
Sattva.
प्रभु के तत्व जो है
So the tattva of Baladev Prabhu,
कृष्ण तत्व है एक शुद्ध सत्य विशुद्ध सत्य
Shuddha Sattva, Vishuddha Sattva, Mishra Sattva.
इसमें विचार आदि दिखाए गए हैं तो आगे जो कथा तो बहुत दूर बढ़ती जा रही
So we came very far in our katha.
है कहने की तो एकमेव परम तत्व एक ही
So there's only one Param Tattva, one supreme absolute truth.
परम तत्व क्या है
And what is that? Krishna.
इस्लाम वेद में जिसके ब्रह्म कहा
Vedas call him as Brahma.
और उपनिषद में जिसको क्या कहा जाता
And the Upanishad call him.
है उत्तम श्लोक क्या है
What is the shloka? Uttam.
हाँ जदोपनिषद ब्रह्म हाँ हाँ ये श्लोक बता दीजिए है बहुत दिन तो ये श्लोक हम उच्चारण नहीं करते भूल जाते
For many days I haven't pronounced like spoken this verse, so I forget.
उपनिषद में जिसको जो है ब्रह्म करके स्तुति करते
So Upanishads call him
हैं
Brahma.
हाँ जो ब्रह्म जो अंग कांति वो अंग कांति है क्यों
So what is the effulgence of Brahma? What is this actually? Is the effulgence of Krishna's body.
समय हो गया
And it's no different from Krishna.
सिर घूमता रहेगा
So in the Tata Vichar, your head will be spinning because in one shloka everything is there.
श्रीमद् भागवत में एक ही श्लोक नहीं बन गया
In the Bhagavata, only one verse also explains everything. What is that verse?
ना ना नहीं ब्रह्म परमात्मा वदन्ति तब विदस्तम जगन्नाथम ब्रह्मेति परमात्मा भगवानेति एक ही तो तत्व है वो ब्रह्म कहे
So Tata is only one, the supreme truth. You may call him Paramatma, Brahma, Bhagavan. Tata is only one.
द्वैतवादी जो लोग कहते
The
हैं
truth is only one.
वो आंशिक रूप में सत्य है, पूर्णता नहीं है।
The Advaitavadis are saying it's partially
सत्यवादी
truth,
लोग शक्ति
not completely.
मान को नहीं मानते,
Because
नहीं शक्ति को
the
नहीं मानते,
Advaitavadis, they don't believe in the Shakti, the potency.
ब्रह्म के मान लेते हैं,
They only believe in
शक्ति को नहीं
Brahma, but not in the potency of Brahma. This is their fault.
मानते।
This is their
इसलिए
fault.
गोपियाँ उद्धव के पूछा,
That's why the gopis asked to Uddhav, Uddhava, tell us,
तुम तो महाज्ञानी हो, तुम भगवान के ब्रह्म मानते हो,
you are a great learned scholar. You think Lord is Brahma, but which Brahma did you meet before coming here?
अशुष्क
The Rasika Brahma or the Shuska Brahma, the dry Brahma?
हम नहीं करें।
I'm not saying this.
पूछने लगी,
The commentary explains that the gopis asked,
तुम बता, हे उद्धव तुम
hey Uddhava, tell us,
पुत्र किससे जो है कृष्ण,
you met your friend Krishna, right? He's Brahma.
वो कौन ब्रह्म?
But which kind of Brahma? Rasik Brahma, full of rasa, mellows, and or this dry Brahma, Suska Brahma?
ब्रह्म तो एक भाई,
Uddhava was thinking, oh, Brahma is only one. Well, I never heard about two Brahma. So even Uddhava was so dizzy, like he was confused.
जानते हैं एक ही ब्रह्म,
Oh, I only knew there was only one Brahma.
या दो
But now gopis are speaking about two kinds of Brahma.
रसिक ब्रह्म से आए,
Oh, did you come from Rasik Brahma or from...
प्रश्न का उत्तर दोगे।
So give our answer about Prem.
और यदि शुष्क ब्रह्म
But if you came from the Suska Brahma, the Brahma of the Advaitavadis, the Brahma of the Gyanis,
तुम उत्तर दे दिए,
so you cannot answer our question.
उद्धव तो बस यहीं पर चक्कर खा गया।
Then Uddhava was so confused.
नहीं जानते ब्रह्म एक ब्रह्म,
I only knew for so long that there was only one Brahma without a second, but gopis are saying there are two Brahmas.
रसिक ब्रह्म और एक शुष्क ब्रह्म।
Rasik Brahma and Suska Brahma, like the Brahma with mellows and dry Brahma.
कहते हैं वो ब्रह्म क्या है? ज्योति स्वरूप है। वो ज्योति
But Brahma is only the effulgence, and this Jyoti or the effulgence is not different from Lord. Actually, the Brahma is the glow, like effulgence of Krishna's body. It's not different from Krishna.
है, ये सब बहुत विचार दिया है।
So all these vicharas are,
एक दिन में समाप्त थोड़ी हो जाए,
we cannot finish in one day.
शब्द से बोलने से थोड़ी हो
Also, only one word is not enough to explain.
जाए। इस जगत में इसलिए जीव से
So Jiva Goswami says that
है। ब्रह्म संहिता में
in the Brahma Samhita,
यहाँ तक भी साधक भाव से पूर्ण,
even as sadhakas attaining the stage of bhav, and also the listener also attaining the stage of bhav,
दोनों में कि इस संसार में जब रहे
if they are in this material world, somehow there will be some contamination in their words.
देंगे, जैसे वो कार्य भेज दिया, मैंने
Like, for example,
राज से फिर उसमें चले गए, एक बार भेज दिया,
I said the Lila went to another place. He said, oh, the Lila like was sent to another place. He understood like that. Sent to Mathura, sent to Vrindavan.
हैं? कथा के मल रहते हैं
So some contamination in the kata, in the words, because we're in this material world.
हैं? इसलिए जो कार्य उसके सुनो
So
और भजन करते करते अनुभव होगा।
like listen and all, but when you have the bhajan, then you have realization. So just read, listen, and okay, and doing bhajan later on, you'll be able to get realization.
हाँ,
Okay, Jai Sri Gurudev ki Jai.